water. And then I could conceive of its molecular structure. Then I could conceive of that drop of water being the ocean, and as if it was single drops or if it was the entire ocean. And then I can conceive as if there was everything in it, which is so wild when you understand the might and range you have as a spiritual being. And the first thing I was thinking was, why in the world would I have ever wanted a human life?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Why do we come here?
Because first, we choose to come and we're chosen. And we play out these great scenarios, but we can only come for the reward system. There is a reward system, which I'll talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
But when people, you know, a lot of times people say, Dannion, what do you think about people who are skeptical and cynical about what you're saying? I said, well, I get along with them great, for I'm a skeptical, cynical person, and I can deal with it. You know, I hear a lot of people, but people have to pay attention that I haven't been through this twice and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell this story, to get up and be telling them a lie. They must, and they must because the events that were unfolded me in these crystal cities, where I went before 13 beings of light, 12 beings, and then a 13th being that seemed to control it. These beings are where the words honor, great, and heroism, and courage, and awesomeness come from. I'd never seen anything as magnificent as I was watching this. And I had seen some pretty wild stuff in my life.
Now, were they in a hall?
It was a building that was literally built of light. It was like it was made of glass and plexiglass brick, when each had its own energy form and its own nucleus, and it radiated. And the energy that it produced was far greater than the building itself. And as I would watch this, these 12 beings appeared, then the 13th. Then each being would be delegated, like the 13th being would delegate the being. And then this being would begin to radiate. And it would radiate beautiful pastels, colors I have never seen yet on this earth. Never seen them. And it would go and radiate outward. And then it was all that was in the hall. That was all that was there. Then it started back. And as it came, it created an energy form here. And it would send out what appeared to me to be a box. I mean, that's the only way I could describe it. And as the box came, it opened. And as I looked down in this box, I could see like a small screen television. You know, maybe I died and went to the appliance department in an electronics store.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, you know, high-tech heaven. But as these events, as this came, I passed into it, and I was literally standing there. I was a part of watching things going on, and burning, and fire, and bombs, and explosions, and advances in medicine, and science, and world events. And I really didn't know it was the future. I didn't know what it was.
Now, what year was this?
1975.
1975.
September the 17th at 7:05 p.m., 1975. And as I finished seeing these 12 boxes, there came the 13th box. And this being who was literally running everything told me that I would have to go back. And this is what, since I had seen the future events, that I would have to go back. And they wanted me to design this program, which is the most ridiculous thing I'd ever, you know, I'm listening to this, and I'm still Dannion. I'm not completely evolved into a spiritual being. I'm still checking all this out. And it said I had to go back and to prepare this program of what they call the centers, to help people center. And I'm asking why. They said the reality that people have based their faith on, we have a faith-based reality, and that it would soon crumble. Science, religion, governments, institutions would pass away. And we had to have a belief system to build our faith on instead of a faith system that we've built our beliefs on. And that I would be a part, like many others.
Say that again. We need to build a...
We have a faith system.
Yeah.
That we build our beliefs on in the church, in institutions, and in governments.
Yeah.
It will crumble. It is passing away now. We're in bankruptcy as a government. As I watched this, I had to come back and do my part to prepare for the change. Where we are is in nearing economic collapse. The form of government that we use, the two-party system, will pass away. This is the last time we will ever have a two-party system. We will become a multitude of different groups that has to build coalitions. You have to have a coalition to work. And that Americans are seeing the world and our political systems as liars. Why I wrote this book, and it's targeted to baby boomers. To those of us, as we have to face our own mortality, we must help those who we love and who have loved us face theirs.
I want to ask you, do you think was the principal purpose these beings had to tell you? Is that go back there and spread the word that no one dies? Is that your purpose?
Absolutely. My purpose is the body dies. No one dies. And you're not going to go to hell on the whim of what some preacher told you on Sunday. You are not judged and characterized by single moments. And guilt is not the way that should be driven in spirituality. By the time I got to the place to realize that we are all afraid of going home, going to where we came from. Now remember, I've been there twice and talked to over 1,000 people in 10 countries and been with more than 40 people breathing their last breaths. One, my mother. The things that my mother said to me as I chronologue in this book, and if anyone knew my mother, she's going to tell me straight. You think my mother's going to lie to me?
No, she's not.
Absolutely not. She's going to give me the best advice that she can as a loving son that she could possibly give. I want everybody to be afforded the opportunity to go and meet another mother, maybe not their mother, but there's a lot of wonderful, beautiful young ladies that's in their 90s that are waiting for you to tell you some of the coolest stuff you'll ever hear in your life. And if you use the techniques to go down and tell them to tell you their life story and their panoramic, you are giving that person a chance to have a panoramic life review and to tell somebody who wants to hear it and who will sit there and listen for 2 or 3 hours a week. That's all they're asking. And as you get this feedback, you all of a sudden start reviewing your life. You will hear them tell you things, and if you use the synchronistic breathing techniques that I teach in that book, I will teach you how to become spiritually in tuned and psychic, quote unquote. I teach it all the time. I'm able to do it all the time. I've been tested everywhere. I don't have any problems. The moment you're aware that you're a spiritual being.
How do you feel that this helps us to live? Never mind going to hospice, but how does this help us to live?
When you're not afraid of dying, and you watch the wonder, joy, and moments in some really crisis situations, the smiles, the gentle pat on your hand, then the moment you're not afraid of dying, you're really not afraid of living. We are the future. We have the potential, power, and capability to alter all things. All I've tried to do in my books is to give a guideline to trust this. And not only don't trust it from such like follow me blindly. Take the books, read them, look at the world around you, look at the updates, go do a little service work and know that I swear to you, your life will pass before you and you will be the events. And as you look at your life every day as a panoramic life review, have one every evening. Don't wait till you pass.
That's a good idea.
Have a panoramic life review every evening.
How did I do today? Huh?
How did God do today?
Here. If God wasn't there,
and
how should I do today?
If God couldn't be here and God sent you, what good did God do today? You'll be amazed at how it changes your life, how it changes your attitude. And then you can look at the future. I show you how the guidelines to watch out for, and then you are in a strong, powerful position to make decisions, to live your life, and to help the final days of the ones you love in power.
Dannion Brinkley, what a treat to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here.